I want to quickly talk to you about banks that notarize near you for free. Okay, so if you are ever in need of notarization services, here is an overview I want you to really pay attention to. First of all, you have Bank of America. So not all banks provide this service. So you want to really check with your local branch, your local Bank of America branch, to confirm availability and any associated fees. But the cool thing is that Bank of America nationally does have, by and large, this service. So Bank of America extends complimentary notary services exclusively to its customers. So you got to be a customer, and this is available at specific financial centers. So I mean, they call it financial center. It's the same thing at branch. Okay. So to ensure the availability of notary services, you as a customer, you are advised to contact your local center in advance. So it's one of those things where just don't walk into the branch and really ask for a notary service. You want to call them in advance and ask if they have that service. And but the notary services are available at no cost in many of the financial centers that Bank of America has. Okay. Now the cool thing is that you got to be a customer, but before you schedule your financial center appointment, it's better that you have a date. You also don't sign or date the document. Some documents must be signed and dated in the presence of a notary. Make sure you have all the pages of the documents being signed, not just the signature page, because they want to, Bank of America notaries want to see the full document. And make sure that all document signers have state acceptable ID. Okay, that's important to really, that's important for compliance purposes. Before your appointment, consider starting your life plan for a more personalized experience with a financial specialist. Okay, Bank of America Life Plan can help you set and track goals and shape a plan for your future, especially when it comes to things that need to be notarized. The second bank that notarize near you for free is actually Capital One. So Capital One does a great job in terms of flexibility. However, Capital One doesn't have the same, let's say, branch footprint as Bank of America, because Bank of America is a national bank with branches nearly in all 50 states, whereas Capital One is only available in 14 states. So Capital One has, a lower footprint geographically than Bank of America. But again, it's always good to know that as a customer of Capital One, you can access free notary services at the bank's full service locations. However, due to a varying availability across branches, customers must schedule an appointment beforehand. If you are looking for a bank that notarize near you for free, I want you to think about Citibank. And Citibank is a national bank, kind of similar to Bank of America. So to really ascertain the fees associated with a particular notary service at Citibank, you want to inquire directly with your local branch, because branches have different notary services. Notary service policies. Not all Citibank branches offer notary services, so it's kind of crucial to identify a branch that does and make an appointment accordingly. Okay, and you can only do so if you go to the branch, or you can give them a call. I mean, branches have open phone numbers that you can call, or you can just call the national 1-800 number and ask about the notary service at that particular zip code. And if you are lucky and they do provide that service, then you go to the branch itself, have a preliminary conversation, ask all questions that you need to ask before going there a second time with the document per se. You also have a Chase Bank. So if you're looking for a bank that notarizes near you for free, think about Chase Bank. And Chase Bank provides complimentary notary services to its clients. So even if you are not a customer, you can still visit a nearby Chase Bank branch to inquire about the fees and requirements for availing notary services. So that's really good. So if you're not a customer, you have to pay for stuff. If you are a customer, you are safe. Okay. And Chase Bank Notary not only appears when it comes to banks that notarize near you for free, but the bank also stands out for its commitment to accommodating non-customers as well. So that's really good, because while many banks restrict their notary services to account holders, Chase, as you saw a little earlier, extends this service to the general public, albeit with a fee for non-customers. And this inclusive approach ensures that anyone in need of notarization can access reliable and professional services, making Chase Bank an ideal choice for a wide range of notarization needs, especially when it comes to notarizing very important documents or very important contracts that have to deal with large monetary amounts. If you're looking for a banks that notarize near you for free, I want you to think about US Bank, okay? And US Bank is pretty good because you are able to find a bank that's really there to help you out, okay? And so US Bank will help get a location, will help get you a location to notarize your documents. So they'll need to see you in person. So everything starts with US Bank actually having a one-on-one meeting with you, okay? And you can actually access the bank's smart assistant online, or you can use also the US Bank mobile app. So simply type or say schedule an appointment for notary services. You want to enter the location near you and follow the prompts to schedule an appointment. So that's really good. You can also use the bank's locator to see if your branch offers notary services. Again, it's always important to double check to make sure that your branch is actually offering notary services. And be sure to seek a branch location, not a partner ATM. It has to be a US Bank own branch location. Okay. You also have a TD Bank. So if you're looking for banks that notarize near you for free, think about TD Bank. And TD Bank has a lot of services, but TD Bank is a regional bank, especially on the East Coast. Okay, so TD Bank offers free notary services to TD Bank customers. So you got to be a customer. If you're not a customer, basically they will provide those services, but they'll charge you. So TD Bank will provide notary services for non-customers in Massachusetts, New York, North Carolina, and South Carolina as required by law. To get a document notarized, you want to visit your local TD Bank during normal lobby hours. You have to really understand that all signees must be in attendance. So make sure all signees are in attendance. Also, bring the complete documents to be signed. Again, not just the last page, not just one page, no, everything. And you want to bring valid identification. That is a state issue driver's license or ID card, military ID, or a passport. So TD Bank's customer service representative cannot notarize any document if a signee is not present or can provide a valid ID or, if necessary, documentation is missing. So be very clear there. If you're looking for a banks that notarize near you for free, I want you to really consider a key bank. So key bank will get the job done for you. That's really with no problem, okay? And so when you think about a key bank's notary policy, you have to understand that public notary services are available to existing key bank clients. Only key bank clients. If you're not a client, go to another bank. Key bank is not going to work with you. So you first want to call your local branch to see if a notary is available at that location and time. Okay, that way you can tell if you're covered or not. That's really important, especially if you have let's say multiple documents to sign or multiple documents to really ascertain. Another institution I want you to really think about is Wells Fargo. So if you're looking for a bank that notarizes near you for free, think about Wells Fargo. With Wells Fargo, you have to really you have to have an appointment, and the appointment happens on the website or through the app. Okay, so appointments related to a notary must actually be set up through the app or online. And if you are visiting a branch for notary services, please remember you have to wait to sign and date your documents in the presence of the notary. You want to bring all pages of the document in its entirety to your appointment, including non-signature and signature pages. And all signers must be present with valid identification. There are cases where some people believe that if you're not a signer, if you are a signer, you don't need to be present as long as you can have a proxy. No, When it comes to notary services, you have to be present there physically yourself. If you're looking for a bank to notarize near you for free, I want you to really think about PNC Bank. And PNC Bank it will actually get the job done, and PNC Bank will help you out. Okay, and the cool thing about PNC Bank is that you have all kinds of specifications based on the kind of documents you want to notarize. For example, they have estate and descendant processing. So while every situation is different and every client is different for that matter, I want to give you a few guidelines for handling the accounts of someone who has passed away. So what to bring: your own photo ID, the deceased client's name and account numbers, or the account number, original death certificate or even a certified copy, state specific documentation. You need to contact a legal advisor for assistance if you haven't already, but this could be a certified copy of letters of administration or letters of testamentary issued by probate court order, letter of appointment for a personal representative, and a short certificate. By the way, with PNC, it's not just about death though. I mean, it could be about anything else, but I'm just giving an example, okay? So how the whole thing works at PNC. Once you give your documents to the branch, they will review and determine if they need additional data, additional paperwork, and they will contact you within 4 business days to schedule a follow-up appointment if necessary. You can see that with PNC, things are a little lengthier. They are lengthier, so just be aware of that. And so if you can't visit a branch, call 1-888-PNC Bank, and they will instruct you based on your location and the account type. In summary, it's really important to understand that with PNC, you want to call them in advance. If you're looking for a bank that notarizes you, notarizes near you for free, think about Truist Bank. So Truist Bank is another national bank that will take care of you, not a problem, okay? And Truist is actually Truist came into operation after a merger of SunTrust and BB&T. So the PNC is a pretty good bank, okay? But you want to call the branch that's closest to you to see if they offer notary services, because they might not offer this notary services. So look at a branch, make an appointment. You want to prepare necessary documents. So before heading to a branch, make sure you have all the necessary documents that require notarization. Common documents include real estate transactions. You have powers of attorney, affidavits, and other legal documents. Additionally, you want to bring a valid form of identification, such as a driver's license or passport, to verify your identity, okay? And also, one thing I want to say is that you want to complete the notarization process. At the branch, meet with a notary public to complete the notarization process. The notary will verify your identity, witness your signature, and affix their seal to the document. So this is really, it's a pretty straightforward process, by the way. So I just shared with you the top 10 banks that notarize near you for free. Let me give you a few facts before we close to this conversation here. One thing for sure, not all banks offer notary services. Okay, you can't get into notarizing a document without participation from a notary public. A notary public acts as a state commissioned individual who becomes an impartial witness in any relevant legal signing. The main responsibility of a public notary is to verify the identity of the person signing the document and to witness the signing. And with the integration of e-signature technology, the process is further streamlined, allowing for secure, efficient, and legally binding electronic signatures from any location. Okay. Now, not all banks have notaries. Okay. The fact of that matter is that sooner or later you will have to notarize a document. If you don't do it at a bank, you will have to do it elsewhere. Okay. It's one of those things where you have to see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Now, that's important to understand that there are several types of documents that can be notarized by banks. So you have loan documents, mortgage, closing documents, legal contracts, trust, and wills. And now there are some documents that banks may not notarize, certain public documents and documents in a foreign language, depending on the bank's policy. Okay. Now you do have alternatives. So you have online notaries, for instance. Those can really come into play as well. You also have private notaries also. Okay, what are the types here in terms of the four most common types of notarization? You have acknowledgement, signature, witnessing. You have oath and affirmations. You have copy certification, and you have jurat. Okay, that's really the kind of scope of let's say context you want to really pay attention to here, and that's really important. Now, there are some options you need to really think about when it comes to local alternatives to bank notaries. You have all kinds of options in terms of flexibility. If your bank does not offer a notary services, or for some reason you prefer to use an independent notary, you have a few options to get your documents notarized. Check with nearby UPS stores or independent offices that provide notary services. Some will offer notary services. See if your local courthouse offers any notary services. Some courthouses provide notary services for low cost or even for free. So it's really possible. You want to check the Blue Notary directory and contact the notary. As a last resort, you can check with nearby colleges, libraries, or universities to see if they offer any notary services for students or the public. Some may provide notary services for little to no cost. So, in summary, while not all banks have readily available notary publics, there are several other options to get your important documents notarized properly. The fastest of which is going to a notary, to actually an online notary, okay? And you also have mobile notaries, by the way. I mean, the industry has developed so much, especially during COVID. It was crazy. It was crazy, like what was happening. So when you think about mobile notary, this is actually known as a traveling notary public. So these are notaries who will travel to a location of your choosing to notarize your documents. Mobile notaries provide a convenience solution if you are unable to travel to a bank or a UPS store for that matter. You can search online for a mobile notary near me, along with your city name or zip code to find local mobile notary services. So when hiring a mobile notary, check that they are properly licensed and insured. Expect to pay travel fees in addition to standard notary fees. Provide clear copies of your ID and documents in advance to ensure a quick visit. You also want to meet in a public place for the signing and have a witness present, actually, if required for your specific documents. Okay. And now, what do you go for notarization when banks are closed on Sundays, for instance? Both an online notary and a mobile notary can provide accessible alternatives if a traditional notary at your bank is inconvenient or unavailable. Okay. And both, so that's really good. However, be sure to verify proper credentials, licensing, and any additional state requirements to ensure that your documents are legally notarized. You do not want to really entrust your documents to a third party who is fraudulent or who is invalid, if you will. Okay. So in today's conversation, in closing, I spoke to you today about banks that notarize near you for free. I give you the overview, the facts, the alternatives, the types, the options, and now the closing. In terms of overview, you have Bank of America, Capital One, Citibank, Chase Bank, US Bank, TD Bank, Key Bank, Wells Fargo, PNC Bank, and Truist Bank. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.